Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something that might be really relevant for you or maybe someone you know.
hmm
It's navigating the undergraduate admissions process for, well, the 2025 academic year at Mayor Luang University MFU over in Thailand.
Right. MFU
Yeah,
admissions.
we've spent some time digging through their official admissions website. The goal is really to pull out the crucial stuff for you.
Exactly. Think of this as your quick guide to understanding the MFU application scene. The website has a lot of information.
It really does.
So yeah, our mission here is to sort of filter out those essential details, the schedules, program info requirements, so you don't get overwhelmed wading through it all yourself.
Okay, great. So if you're thinking about MFU for a bachelor's degree, first thing we need to probably clarify is TCAS. What exactly is TCAS in the Thai university world?
Good question. TCS stands for the Thai University Central Admission System. It's basically the main gateway for applying to universities across Thailand.
Okay, a central system.
Yeah, and the information we're zeroing in on today is specifically for undergrad programs at MFU for the 2025 academic year. That's TCAS 68.
TCS is 60.
Got it. It's this nationwide system meant to streamline things, but universities like MFU still have their own specific processes and, importantly, timelines within that system.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, okay, you land on the MFU admissions site.
hmm
How do you know you're definitely looking at the undergraduate info? What are the clues?
Well, the main navigation bar is pretty clear. You'll see the main heading admissions, right? And then below that, it's broken down by level. Undergraduate, graduate, doctoral, pretty standard stuff.
Okay.
There are also links for the different schools, the academic departments, plus a specific section for guidance counselors and the contact info for admissions.
And if I'm aiming for that bachelor's degree, what's the direct link?
The bullseye.
You want to click straight on the section that says TCA 68 bachelor's degree. That's your hub. That's where all the key info for undergrads for 2025 lives. Perfect. So once you click into that TCS 68 section, what kind of information jumps out first?
The news and announcements area. That's CCAS content kind of in Thai. That should be somewhere you check regularly. Definitely.
Okay, keep an eye on the news.
Yeah, right now, for instance, you'll see announcements aimed squarely at new students for 2025. Things like how to prep your online registration documents, or just the overall plan for student admissions this year.
Useful stuff.
And importantly, there's a specific link just for undergraduate news, which is handy for filtering out, grad school info or other things you don't need.
Right, cuts down the noise. So staying updated is crucial. Now let's talk about actually getting in. TCS uses different rounds, right?
Mhm.
How does MFU handle those?
Yes, exactly. TCS works in rounds, and MFU lays out the details for each one. Let's maybe focus on round 3, which they label admission, because that's probably the most relevant for people applying right about now.
Round 3, okay. When's that kickoff?
The application period for round 3, it starts on February 19th, 2025.
February 19th, 2025. Okay, key date for round 3 applicants. And what are the ways you can actually apply in this round? Are there different options?
Yeah, there are multiple paths in round 3. It's mostly based on standardized test results. So you can apply using your scores from TGT, the Thai General Aptitude Test, and TPAT, the Professional Aptitude Test.
TGT-PAT, got it.
Or, alternatively, you could use your A-level results.
A-levels, okay.
Or even a combination of both TGT, TPAT, and A-level scores.
Ah, so they mix and match.
They do. And there's another track, too, one that looks at your overall GPACs, your grade point average, along with those TTT, TPAT, and A-level scores.
Interesting. So it's not just test scores for everyone.
No, it seems like this approach suggests MFU is trying to bring in students with different kinds of strengths, whether you ace standardized tests or you're strong in specific subjects via A-levels, or you just have a really solid academic record overall with your GPACs.
Now, it feels like they're looking more holistically, maybe, offering different routes. Are there any, special programs or initiatives within round 3?
Yes, definitely. There are some targeted things. One is the That's a specific project for admitting students with disabilities.
Okay.
And its application period includes April 18th, 2025. There's also a project for Thai nationals who finish their schooling at international schools, either here in Thailand or maybe abroad.
Right.
And for that one, the application periods include both February 19th and April 18th, 2025.
So specific support there.
Yeah, these kinds of targeted projects, they seem to show MFU is, committed to widening access for particular student groups.
That's really good to know for anyone who might fit into those categories. What about the other TCAS rounds at MFU? You mentioned round 3 is key now, but what else is listed?
Well, looking at round 4 on the site, it currently lists those same two specialized projects we just talked about.
Ah, the disability access and the international school grads.
Exactly. Both again showing an application period that includes April 18th, 2025. So it looks like those particular initiatives span across multiple admission rounds.
Okay, so consistency for those pathways.
Right.
What about the earlier rounds then? Like round 1, is their info still up?
For round 1, yeah, the website shows that the application periods for quite a few projects under what they call round 1.3, those are already closed.
Yeah. Okay, past deadlines.
Yeah, the deadline was November 28th, 2024 for most of them. These were things like the Good Moral Students Project, a project for talented students in music, arts, sports.
Right, those early talent-based ones.
Exactly. And the Guidance Counselor Project actually had an even earlier deadline, October 18th, 2024. There was also a national direct admission using TGA TPAT scores that closed way back on July 2nd, 2024.
Wow, July.
And the Military Offspring Project, its deadline was December 13th, 2024. So yeah, round 1 tends to be for, early birds with specific talents or connections.
Definitely sounds like round 1 is for those who planned way ahead or have very specific profiles. How about round 2? What did that involve?
For round 2, the website mentions a portfolio guide on the Concon Portfolio MFU TCAS 68. That suggests portfolios were a pretty big deal for this round.
Makes sense for round 2.
Yeah. And just like round 1, many of the application periods for round 2 projects are also finished now. They pretty much all had a deadline of January 21st, 2025.
January 21st, okay.
So yeah, there were a lot of specific projects listed under round 2 using various combinations of TDT-PAT, A-levels, GPACs, portfolios, things like direct admission nationwide, specific quotas for medicine and dentistry for the northern region, quotas for children of medical staff or MFU employees, programs like physical therapy, nursing, traditional Chinese medicine, a whole range.
Wow, okay, so round 2 was quite complex with lots of different sub-rounds and criteria.
Very much so. Lots of specific pathways, all now closed as of late January.
All right, so bottom line for someone listening now, rounds 1 and 2 are mostly, in the rearview mirror. Round 3 is where the action is currently.
Precisely.
You mentioned earlier a specific section for guidance counselors. What kind of help does MFU give them? Seems quite useful.
Yeah, it does. The section that's information for guidance counselors. It looks like a really dedicated resource.
What's in there?
Well, they've got presentation materials available, like from a seminar they held back in August 2024.
Okay, helpful background.
And they posted info about their 9th Guidance Counselor Roadshow and their 18th Guidance Counselor Seminar, both for this 2025 academic year.
So they actively engage with counselors.
Seems so. And importantly, there's a login system just for counselors. They can get a username and password for the 2025 year to access presumably more specific resources.
Oh, okay, like a portal for them.
Exactly. Plus details on how to get those login credentials. They even mention a Facebook group, the MFU Guidance Counselor Network, and a list of the schools participating in their network projects.
That's quite comprehensive support.
It really is. It suggests MFU values the role counselors play in, guiding students through this whole process.
Definitely. Okay, shifting back to the students themselves, if they want to know more about the actual courses, the degrees, where do they look?
Right. For the program details, you need the Kanarkan Cut section. That translates roughly to program information or program recommendations.
Okay, program information.
Yeah, and this section is packed. It's got program videos, downloadable brochures, the curriculum structure, the study plans.
The nitty-gritty.
Exactly. Plus program reviews, info on tuition fees, always important application schedules that might be specific to that program.
Ah, okay, so schedules can vary by program.
It seems possible, always worth checking. They also list required application documents and, interestingly, minimum and maximum scores from previous years.
Well, that's useful, like cutoff scores.
Yeah, likely for past admissions cycles. It can give you at least a rough idea of how competitive different programs are. And of course, FAQs frequently asked questions.
Sounds like pretty much everything you'd need to really investigate a program that, catches your eye. You also mentioned Review Gugongane program reviews. What are those like?
Yeah, the program review section, currently they highlight specific reviews for the School of Science, the School of Agroindustry, and the School of Health Science.
Okay, specific examples.
Right. But the site also indicates you can see more by clicking Review Tangtha, which means all reviews. So it seems like a place to get maybe student perspectives or deeper dives into the experience within those particular schools or programs.
Could be really valuable insight. Okay, this has been honestly a super helpful walkthrough of the MFU admissions website. If you had to boil it down, what are the absolute key takeaways for our listeners considering MFU?
Okay, three main things, I think. First, and this is crucial, the official MFU Luang University admissions website is your go-to source. Always. Check it for the absolute latest, most accurate info.
Rely on third-hand info.
Exactly. Double-check requirements, double-check deadlines for the specific programs you want, because things can vary.
Right. Number one, check the official source. What's two?
Second, really understand the TCAS structure with its different rounds. As we discussed, round 3 is the big one right now, starting applications February 19th, 2025. And remember, it offers various ways in TGA TPAT, A-levels, GPACs, combinations.
So know the rounds and know the pathways within them. Find your fit.
Precisely. Find the round in the specific track that matches your academic background and your qualifications best.
Okay. And the third takeaway.
Third, don't ignore all the resources MFU puts right there on the website. The program guides, the schedules, those minimum-maximum scores, even the reviews we mentioned, they're all there to help you make a really informed choice.
Use the tools they provide.
Absolutely. And maybe a final little point. If you are a student working with a guidance counselor, make sure they know about that dedicated counselor section on the MFU site. They might find extra resources there to help you.
Good tip. Okay, so just to recap then, we've explored the Luang University undergrad admissions for 2025, looked at how their website is set up, and unpacked the key info within the TCA system, especially the different rounds and pathways. It's definitely clear they offer, well, a lot of options.
Yeah, a comprehensive setup. So our strong recommendation is, if you're interested, head directly to the Luang University admissions website yourself. Explore those programs, look closely at the current details, the deadlines, make sure it all fits your specific situation.
Definitely sound advice. And maybe just one final thought to leave you with. You know, as we see universities like MFU using these more complex, multifaceted admission processes, different rounds, different criteria, what does that really mean for students trying to navigate it all? And maybe what does it mean for the bigger picture of who gets access to higher education? It's certainly something complex and changing. Lots to think about there. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to this deep dive.